Good afternoon, everyone. This is Dr. Arvind Bhattacharya, and we are here to discuss the basic of autonomic nervous system. It comes under the module 3 of the syllabus of B Farm course. So we will start with what is nervous system. Okay, the nervous system is generally a complex network of nerves and cells that carries the message to and from the brain and spinal cord to various parts of the body. If we see the basic fundamental unit here is neuron, so we are going to talk about neuron in a little bit while. So if we look, we can say that the nervous system is just like a mesh of wires connected to a computer. So if we go step by step, it would be more easy to understand what is nervous system, what are its components, how the neurotransmission works, and we will have a complete set of picture regarding it. So this is the basic classification of nervous system in human. So basically we say it has two parts. The one that is the central nervous system and the other is the peripheral nervous system. We can project it as a computer having the CPU or the central processing unit as the central nervous system and the other parts as the peripheral nervous system. The central nervous system consists of two parts, that is the spinal cord and the brain, and the autonomous nervous system have two parts, that is the peripheral nervous system has two parts. One is the autonomous nervous system and the other is afferent nervous system. The autonomous nervous system have further divided into two, that is the sympathetic and the parasympathetic. Now we will move and we will tell the difference between what is autonomic nervous system and what is the difference between the somatic nervous system, or we are going to see in the next slide. Before moving to the nervous system or the classification, we must know the basic structure of neuron. A neuron has following type of structures. The one is dendrites, the other are the cell body, next is the nucleus, then there is nodes of Ranvier, and there is axon terminal, which is known as the synaptic button. So if we look at the structure, any impulse or signal comes from dendrites, then it moves to the nucleus, then it moves to the axon, and from axon it moves to the synaptic button. Here in the synaptic button, there are certain things we call as neurotransmitter, and these neurotransmitters are the main component of the transferring of signal from one point to the another. We are going to look into it. So if we look at the basic of neurotransmission, so these are the basic steps. So we can say there are basically 8 steps in neurotransmission. The first is at the synaptic junction, the action potential arrives at the axon terminal. So if we go back to the previous structure, we will see the axon potential or the impulse first hits to the axon. Okay. Next, the voltage gated sodium channels. When the impulse are propagated from axon and it moves to the synaptic button, this opens the calcium channel, and these calcium channels are voltage gated, which means the voltage has to be applied. That potential acts as a voltage, and these voltage gated calcium channels open the vesicles. It is the third step. The calcium signals act to the neurotransmitter vesicles. The calcium channel, this is the this calcium channel move to the this one. Open the voltage gated, the voltage, the calcium signals open the neurotransmitter vesicles. It open the neurotransmitter vesicles, and this neurotransmitter move to the end part where it is released by the process of exocytosis, or they are released from here, and this neurotransmitter release are bind to the receptor, and due to this binding there is a signal in the postsynaptic cell. We can see here in that graded response system. Now we are talk about the basic of autonomic nervous system. See, this is the basics thing we must know before going to the drugs acting on autonomic nervous system. So if we see the basic of autonomic nervous system, the main point here is that autonomic nervous system is a self-regulating system. That we can get a clear picture of it. Let us suppose if any furious animal chases you, your heart rate will increase, or you have a you can say increasing level of perspiration. If this thing is happening, so it is not under your control. That is and this system happens due to the fight and flight mechanism, which is mainly due to the release of adrenaline. So if we are, and it is not under your control, so if we think that autonomic nervous system is a self-regulating system, and it controls the involuntary bodily functions such as heart rate, digestion, respiratory rate, and it is a very critical component of peripheral nervous system, and it operates without conscious mind. That means you don't have any control over it. So this is the basic structure of an autonomic nervous system. That is, the signal from central nervous system move from preganglionic part, then there is a postganglionic part. We will discuss it later. And there are smooth muscles, there are cardiac muscles, and there are glands. They are happening. So this comes under your autonomic nervous system. So this is a comparison between autonomic nervous system and somatic nervous system. See, if we talk about somatic nervous system, it is related with skeletal muscle. So there the flow of impulse from central nervous system is quite simple. That signal generates and the motor neuron carries the signal and it is received on the skeletal muscle. If we talk about autonomic nervous system, we generally have three parts. That is the preganglionic part, then there is ganglionic part, and then there is postganglionic part. So in this system, the signal first moves from preganglionic part, then it reaches to the ganglionic part, and then it shows action in the postganglionic part. So from here on, these are the basic concepts we have to understand before understanding the concept of drug release or how the drug acts and so on. So this is the first part of the video. We are concluding here, and thank you very much for listening. Kindly like, share and subscribe this video. Thank you very much.